two items up today. One is under general administration, the purchase of a lawnmower. The second is installation of two rooftop units over in Building 9. The first one on page 2 of your packet is the purchase of a lawnmower. Just to preface this, we had a discussion at the last board meeting and also at the last facilities committee meeting prior to that about what would be the ideal second lawnmower to add to the fleet. Steve has done some research on that and has come up with the Kubota model you see in front of you. In addition, Fred has done an analysis of the cost. It's in your board read file, in your purple file, that details the total cost per acre of the Kubota. And I'll give you a minute to get to that. It should be right in behind your bridge report. And the specs on the Kubota, the diesel model, are immediately behind on page 3.
It's a separate page of that one in your hand. The one you just set down.
What's that?
The
I got this one.
The one under the memo.
It's under the
This
laws.
one?
That's the bridge report, and it's right under the bridge report. It's attached to it.
Okay.
There it is, right
Oh, thank you. I was thinking it was separate, something, I don't know what I was looking at. Thanks for helping me there, Fred.
It's a Kubota diesel zero-turn mower that would be coming from Snell Equipment, and it costs not to exceed $13,170.
Anybody got any questions? Just a quick one on, I chose diesel over gas for fuel economy. I mean, over a 5-year period, you're gonna use a lot less fuel with that diesel, and you're gonna have more power. So it is more expensive, but if you match that up, I think we're gonna do better, a lot better in fuel consumption, so that's why we chose the diesel.
Well, I think when we, our thoughts or feelings, just, is to aesthetically take care of some of the things that, programmatically, what we do and how we do it in a better way, with better equipment, instead of using manpower, use better equipment, instead of manpower taking that difference, whatever. And I think that's what you got here, is, how that makes sense, whatever. I go back to, this is what I asked you, come back with a report that says, this is what I want, this is what really finishes it up, whatever, and this is what I want to have. I guess the question now goes to you, Fred, as far as, economically, okay, does this make sense? Obviously everything comes at a price tag, okay? And I looked at this and I'm saying, all right, 72 inches for, what was it, $14,000, right? Yeah. And then I looked at our 134 inches for, what did we pay for that one? $50,000. So now you start looking at, wait a minute, if I had 2 of those going instead of 1, of course I know the fuel, the cost per acre, you say, so what do you get for cost for the amount of inches that you're going to mow? You start thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe we should have a fleet a little bit smaller. Not to say we're wrong with the bigger one, because whatever it want to be, but that's just when you start becoming analytical of what you're doing and how you do things, to say what makes sense of how things are done. But if this does the job for you, and it's the cost thing, Fred, that you agree that that's something we should purchase, I'm 100% for it. I don't know, Fred, if you got some other ideas that you're thinking of.
Only question I got is this fuel, does this meet all the state requirements as far as
For clean fuel,
clean fuels and all that?
Yeah, everything you see now. They don't meet the California regs, but those are such a high standard, you've got to pay out.
Is this gonna do you for a while, for as far as lawnmowers go?
Yeah.
This?
No, this will fit in really nicely. Yeah.
I heard a knock on wood there.
That would be barring any fires.
Ready until the big one dies? Yes.
Careful. Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we talked about was before the tragic situation losing a lawnmower, but it is tragic in a way, because money that I thought you were going to have, you didn't have, whatever. There's 2 big ones, but you didn't come back with 2 big ones. You come back with, you said, this is what, and I look at this, you just told me, instead of spending the another 50,000, you come back and says, I can do this for $14,000 or
And
$15,000.
that was the back and forth that we had as far as what, like,
Yeah.
where you saw things as far as the way we do things around here and
Yeah.
what the property will look like. And, you know, if you just said, we wanna cut grass all the time, all the way, and we don't really care how it looks, probably, you know, you might say the two mowers would, but I think with the finished one, we're gonna get a better product. And I think, we know what that big mower can do, and that can help us out a lot.
Well, you
Where
know-
is this mower made?
I don't know, Fred.
China?
Kubota, I think they're made.
Go to the Japanese company.
Where?
It's a Japanese company, but I don't know where it's made.
No, John Deere didn't have any?
Yeah, they
prices?
did. John Deere was $3,000 more, and for a 72-inch zero turn. And, they priced the Husqvarna, but I just talked to different people, and everybody, between Kubota and John Deere, everybody was happy with what they owned. But I figured for the, added cost, I mean, I'm a John Deere fan, but, I've also had good luck with Kubota too, so I thought.
I worry about maintenance and stuff like that there as time goes on, getting parts reasonable and stuff like that. You just answered the question.
Yeah.
John Deere, you don't have that problem. You can get on the phone today, if you got a broken thing, and tomorrow it's here. UPS delivery. That's the way they are, and that's how they do business. You got a nut or a bolt, it's the same bolt that was in the machine when it was built. When you come to these other things, I don't know where you're gonna.
I asked about that with Kubota, and, which now they've been very good with a lot of people.
Oh, they're a good company over there. Yeah. I don't have any problem with it, Mr.
No.
Chairman, moving on.
State contract, nothing there?
They.
That's the Ogdensburg
yeah,
price?
yeah.
And
They-
nothing
they
John Deere
reduced
price
their-
was?
John Deere had, their 16,000 was their state pricing, that was at a percentage with that. So, by our purchasing thing, we're allowed to take state contract pricing or lower. And that's kind of what Snell did there, they gave their retail price
Yeah.
and then,
How long do you think these mowers last?
Well,
10 years, 10, 12 years?
I think like 8 to 10.
Motor wise, I mean,
Oh,
I know the
yeah,
wear
yeah.
and tear stuff is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and, see, the John Deeres were being used, the snow motors were being used in the winter time, so they were almost, the tractors we had, they were used almost year round. So, the Kubota, I imagine, it's just seasonal.
Okay.
You get a lot of seasons out of it,
Yeah.
Yeah,
unless there's, something wrong.
well, I appreciate bringing you back something that fits the needs that,
Yeah.
and I mean, I guess my closing comments is where it doesn't take long to figure out, when you don't have the right equipment mowing lawns, how they look. And it doesn't take long. I mean, of course, the type of summer we've had, we got green
Yeah.
grass, we got May grass in July, in August, so it's been that time
And
of year.
it's not gonna,
Well, maybe in a couple of years, we won't need it anyways, we fill all these empty spaces with buildings and hotels. There you go, the lawnmower, we can get rid of it.
Well, that paving machine, thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion to.
Okay,
All right.
I'll second it, we'll move it to the committee. And next is the roof.
The second, final item is, over on page 4 of your facilities packet. This is, replacement of two 1994 vintage rooftop, units, HVAC units. We had, bids, we had 6 bids. Low bid was, Cornerstone Services at $26,900. And Steve, is there anything you wanna add to that? I mean, it does include the hail guards, it's one of the things that we were cognizant of.
Yeah, the pricing was what I expected, and it's a little bit lower than, I figured something in the 30,000 range was what we've been seeing. And I'm not familiar with Merkley Brothers, that was something, but I heard good things on Cornerstone, they've done a little work for us, and the others have been around for years. We're all familiar with them.
Where's this company from?
Norwood or Norfolk,
I think they're more,
Norwood.
Corner, is it stone?
it's called Cornerstone, it's different from, not the same family.
Now, do they meet all of the minority and all of that stuff?
No, they're not a minority outfit, the only one I know for sure is BNS, that's WBE. I know know with, Skelly Contractors, they use, Eddie uses his daughter's company for purchasing them, so there would be a component there of the WBE in Skelly, but the rest are not, WBE or MBE, firms.
Is that causing us a problem with this bid, because the other companies are complying to the minority situation, which we must comply to, and
If the,
was it in the specs?
Yes.
yes, if
So-
the, if the board chooses the low bid here, I will have to get the exception from ESD. But I think that will be able to be gotten by the difference in the bids.
This is a
So
case
if,
where the
if
best
Skelly
interest of the-
qualifies and BNS qualifies, their bids met the specs that you sent out.
Yes.
Then the other folks didn't meet the specs.
The only thing I can say, I'm assuming Eddie's getting his, but it didn't say so in the bid. The only one that I know is a WBE is BNS.
But he knows in the specs that he's gotta meet those.
Yeah.
How much was the percentage of that? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's 20%, I think 20% of that
Yes.
contract.
All right,
So,
so that makes a difference when you're putting this bid together, how you're doing the figures. What I'm saying is, you know, some of these other people might not didn't meet the qualifications, they shouldn't accept the bid. When, you know, you're putting it at,
I don't have any insight.
not you, but.
Yeah, but I
See
don't
what
know
I'm
whether
saying?
they may be purchasing from a minority, or a woman out there, I don't know
Well,
who they're
I don't
purchasing.
think that we should be looking to get an exemption for a company that's not meeting the qualifications of the specs that we put out for bid. When we got two contractors here that meet the qualifications and the specs, maybe three, I don't know, High Stone might make it too. But that's what I'm saying, there's a 20% threshold here of a minority situation. Now, it is true that Skelly's contractor probably will be purchasing stuff through his daughter's company.
Can't say the name
And
of it,
she's
but-
certified, because she sent the stuff here.
Yeah.
We have the certificate that she's qualified to do this.
Right.
So it puts them at a disadvantage here. This is a very delicate thing with me on this, how these bids come out. If people don't meet the qualifications and the minority status, their bid shouldn't be, to me, on this paper. So if you took them people off this paper, that leaves Skelly as low bidder.
The only thing, Fred, that may make a difference, if we met our 20%, you know, and there's a huge difference, you might consider the lower bid. But I agree with what you just said.
But you see, this is what, and I'm not speaking for him, but when the full board gets here, when this issue comes up, you're gonna see a couple board members here, they've raised the question to us before, you know, about this area. It's a very gray area with us. But, and I'm not trying to, listen, I ain't got that, a lot of time to spend on this thing, but myself, they're not qualified to bid this job. Skelly's the low bidder on this project. There's no doubt in my mind. He meets the qualifications and everything else. If he doesn't, then it should go to BNS, because they meet the qualifications. You can't put them other people in that, if they don't meet the specs, you can't let them in. And then turn around and ask him to go and get a great, you got a lawsuit coming there. If I was the contractor and put this bid in, and I found out that you go ahead and get that, get them a release, you didn't get it for me, that might shave, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 off these people's bid, because they ain't gotta meet that minority status. You find what I'm saying? So I don't know what you wanna do with it, but.
So let me ask this question, Steve. The bid package went out, it had the minority requirements attached to it. Of the 6 bids that you received, how many meet the definition of qualified bidder?
Well, the only one would be BNS that I know of.
Okay.
Because right on the face, they're a WBE. The rest of these firms have no certification for WBE or MBE.
So we've got one qualified bidder then.
You may have two, because I believe that, and Skelly's in there with the minority.
And that's, you know where I'm coming from, and that's my assumption, but
Yeah.
we'd have to inquire. about it.
Well.
You know what I mean?
Let's go back to my statement. Is every situation going to be addressed that way?
anytime.
I mean, that's the problem I'm having here. I know what he's saying.
Anytime we
Okay.
attach goals and they're not met in a contract, and we have to attach goals for anything over 25,000, then I have to seek a waiver. And if they refuse the waiver, then we have to rebid or accept a bid that, oh,
There you go.
So when you send something to us to approve, those other things shouldn't be here whatsoever. We shouldn't see any of that. Am I
Well,
understanding?
yes
correct?
and no, there's two things going on.
Oh, that's
You've got
what I
the
wanna hear.
MWBE policy, and
Right.
you've got the procurement policy.
Right.
Within the procurement policy, you could exercise the clause that has best interest of the authority.
That's what I was looking at.
That's the dynamic that's going on here. But I'm hearing that the preference would be to stick with the qualified bidder. And if we stick with a qualified bidder, that is a different list.
But no, that's where I wanna make sure, because if we're gonna establish policy, cause that's what you're gonna do here. It isn't about the bid, it's the policy that every time you turn around, that's the way we're gonna handle every bid. Is that what your suggestion, Fred?
I'm suggesting if a person doesn't meet the bid specs that these people put out, they shouldn't be on this list who would be awarded the contract and then turn around and ask for a waiver for them. That's a bit it's a disadvantage for the people that meet the qualifications.
Well, I'm not painting.
Frank, you
Yeah.
should be able to speak on this, I mean, it's,
Well, you got two dichotomies here. You're going, if you do it the way that the state seems to want it to be done, you're not gonna be dealing with a lot of local people. You're gonna be dealing with out of the area people, and you're gonna be paying a hell of a lot higher price for everything you buy.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why the waiver process is there, to give you flexibility. But, if you're gonna tailor it, you should tailor your policy and your other procurement policy to say, if it's in there, and you can reject all bids that don't have the
but you have three contractors from this area in this bid.
but if they don't qualify,
Yes, they do. B&S qualifies,
Okay.
Skelly qualifies, and I think Hydestone qualifies.
and if Hydestone does, they're the low bidder.
I don't know that for sure, but whoever doesn't meet the qualifications of the minority status is off, should be off this bid list.
And I think when you send your bid, when you publish your notice, you should say that anybody that doesn't comply with every condition,
He does that.
I don't know, bids will not be accepted, period.
It's in,
It's in there.
This is in there.
Steve covers all that
but
aspect.
maybe in regards to
what
the
they
new
should,
policy.
what they should do is, if Cornerstone bids 26,000, they should say 20% of the, 20% of will be sold to some, to a.
Well, that's what we're saying.
That's what we're
So, really, to be honest, yeah, I didn't do my homework thoroughly
know what?
out here. I should have,
Reject them all.
I should, yeah, that, I think.
Reject them all.
Or.
Well, if it's in the committee now, it's gonna probably die right here.
Right, well.
It's not going to the board.
What, the question
Well, it
that I.
probably should, it probably should, and what we should do, as Frank suggested.
Reject them all.
the
Let
bids,
Steve finish what he
rebid,
wanted to say.
and
No, what I
bid
should
qualified
do
bidders.
is, what I should do from now on is, I know when there's things all over the place, we ask certain questions of every bidder before we make our recommendation. On this one, I should call Cornerstone and say, what part of this contract will be 20% MBE or WBE? And find, and if they say there is none, well then, okay, disqualified. But if they say.
They should be submitting that to you.
I think it's gotta be requested in the.
Now, B&S
It's
submitted that to
requested,
you.
it's, no, 20% is stated in our policy, but we don't, you know, you go and award that to them, and then, here's what I'm getting at, I should just follow it up with asking that question to be sure, because the contract states that, so if you were awarded that to them, they would have to say, this is where we're buying it from, or we're getting 20% of this contract is gonna be MBE or WBE. And if that doesn't work, we'd have to say, well, you're not gonna,
See, you've already, to me, you've gone beyond the bid process, now you're in the contract process.
well, that's.
I mean, so where do you wanna weed them out, at the contract level or at the bid
Yeah, I
level?
guess that's what I'm asking.
I think you gotta do it at the bid level,
Should
to
probably
be
save
at the bid
your- to save yourself some time.
When you send out a bid, that should come back, and that's the way it should be.
What's the bid sheet?
This is kinda new, this part that.
I understand that.
And what happens is, I know the old part, and I can look at something
But
and
can you see mine?
Oh,
This is-
no,
I
exactly.
mean, we got three local
No,
contractors
it's no
bidding
different
this.
than the bid bond and
Right.
everything else, if we change that in the middle, that's not fair to everybody else, and
But if
that's.
you look at it and you go to High Stone and ask them and they say, no, I didn't put in for that, I'm not gonna make that. And if you go to Skelly and he says, yes, I put it in, here's what it is, here's the paperwork on it.
Or in a way, in our contracts, we should have some, maybe there's some form there that just says, that is part of the bid that says, X amount of dollars will be spent, like Fred's saying, on 20% or more, and then we look in that and we go, okay, it's there, fine, we don't have to worry about it. We can say 20% of this is what they said in their contract.
How much time we got on this, Stephen? I know this is an important issue here.
Oh, we've got plenty of
We
time.
got time.
There's no difference.
No, and
between this month and next
I'm
month.
just on you
You got
about
time
where
on
we're
this?
headed with this, we should.
So,
not-
I'd like to get a motion that we, table this resolution and go back for bid, go back out for bid.
One thing you wanna do is you already have with every bid a non-inclusive bidding certificate. Why not have a minority or women organization certificate that they qualify?
See, we have that.
No, but I mean, the contractor's gotta send.
No, but we have
Yeah,
that from
they
Skelly.
will. I see what you're saying, yeah. that
But
they will
everybody,
comply with it.
you send it with the bid package, and if they can't
Oh,
meet it, then they
yeah.
don't bother sending it back,
Right.
and you don't waste time.
Well, you remember when the governor put this in place?
Yeah.
The first thing, the only letter I think we got, correct me if I'm wrong,
You're wrong. We
Was
have got a
from-
few others, we have got a few others from, a few other.
and they're a local contractor,
Yeah.
you know? And we know that it's gonna cost us a little more to deal with this particular issue that the governor wants done, and we have to handle that.
But see, that,
But to ask them, Frank, to give this XYZ company here a waiver on this particular minority
No, I don't-
issue,
I agree.
and I bid it under them, Frank? No, Frank, that don't work.
No, I agree with you. Well, all I'm saying is that we should ask the question at the time the bid goes out, just like at the file, the non-inclusive bid
All right,
certificate.
so
That
what
way,
we'll
Steve
do
can
is we'll
exclude
send
it.
this back to Steve, Steve will rearrange it and Wade, and then we'll send another package out.
We'll reject it and reissue.
And
Thank
then,
you.
and on the bidders list, when you do, bid bond, this and that, we'll put, we do have that in there, but if we've got a form that we know we can use as part of the evaluation.
That sounds good.
See, they're all supposed to have a number to give you too, a certificate number that they are qualified to bid this and do this work.
And then Fred, we don't have to worry about the other aspect of the controller saying, well, Chris, you're taking the highest bids going. No, we're taking the bids that are allowed by, your boss, the governor. Who
That's
says we
what it
have,
is.
that he's the one that set the parameters, so we're stuck with it. And we gotta, we should follow it. Make it
Yeah.
easier on Steve too.
Well, I think that needs further discussion, because I think what Wade said, that the procurement policy establishes one thing. Your other policies, MWEs, another type of thing, whatever, and how the two work together is
Integrate.
whatever. I mean, it's like, I start thinking about, wait a minute, I gotta choose between quality, I gotta choose between price, I gotta choose between service. I mean, all those things come into play, and I'm saying, well, what am I gonna do what's best? I mean, you can't tie my hands every time a certain way. You have the opportunity to save the price and the money and the service, and still try to meet the needs of what each policy asks you to do. I mean, obviously, the word fair comes in, you take fair consideration of what everything is brought forth, and you make an honest effort to make the right choice, what each policy says, and I think that's all you can do. That's all you can do. I mean, I look at a big ticket item, we sat here with a big ticket item, let's just say the difference is $100,000. I mean, I gotta tie my hands, you know, we're making a decision over a big ticket item, that's becomes very sensitive. But here, I think Fred brought a great point up, so let's go back and look at this whole thing, so I know exactly what.
Put something together, how we're gonna bid it.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's gonna have to be.
Yeah.
Because we can't, you know, we're gonna, say that we took this company that gives us the bid. And Fred goes ahead and we give them the job. Then they come in and did an audit. And there was 20% in there and this guy didn't make it. They'll come back after us on that.
Well, you hear under unfinished business at the board level on their fence. Remember our fence from last time? The waiver was not granted in that instance.
Yeah.
So it can't be granted. So that kind of directs us which way.
Well, we're trying to do it right, that's all.
We'll do the best we can.
No, that's.
Comply with our goals.
You know how things are
It's
today.
just new to me, and to do it right, it's just trying to balance all this, to get the answers.
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah,
Thank you, Steve.
we have a distinguished looking audience today. Oh, wait, it's our board members out there.
That's what I'm getting nervous about, I wanna get them up there.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
He said, "Distinguished, you better have
I
it
accept
like
that.
that."
No further actions
Is that
needed,
a
Wade?
motion to
Nope.
table it?
Yeah, we're tabling,
Yeah,
no,
action table.
it's going back to rebid.
No action.
No action.